Hello, welcome to Pen and Paper ASMR. Today I wanted to try out some habit tracker ideas. I think 2 videos ago I posted my weekly setup for one of the weeks here in July, and I mentioned that I just do a simple habit tracker each week, and I do that really for my own sake of time and wanting to, really not having to do a ton of upkeep every day. And, it hasn't been something that I've really worried about. But I think for August, I want to try doing like a month-long habit tracker, at least for 1 or 2 things, just to see how it goes. And I've been looking for inspiration, and I found there's a couple ways you can do it. One of the ways is to make a chart that covers the whole page. Another one I found is where you make individual, almost like mini calendars for each habit. And then others I've seen are more themed. So I just want to try out a couple. This journal is very similar to my bullet journal. It's by the same brand. It's just, the best way I can explain it is it's just plain. There's no page numbers, there's no index, there's nothing overly fancy, but the dots should be all the same, and I can't see why, if it works well in here, why it wouldn't work well over there. So, if you by chance have seen any other video I posted, you'll have seen that I like to use Pinterest, and this is honestly where I get most of my ideas. There are also trackers like this. Typically, these are going to be mood trackers, the more artsy ones, but I mean, technically you could use it as a habit, depending on the habit. Like if your habit deals with like sleep, this could just be like a sleep tracker, and you can make one color for like 8 to 9 hours, and then another one for 7 to 8 hours, and 6 to 7 hours, and so you could base it off of that if you like. But I don't think I want to do that. I want mine to be a little more functional. So this is an idea, like the kind that just has like a mini calendar for each habit. This, to me, this is very clean to look at. There's honestly not a lot going on. Each one is has its own section. I can see how this would be nice just to see, like, what would you call that, consecutive, like a streak, like streaks of days. But this one wouldn't be as good if you're looking for patterns. Let's see. I'll come back to that kind in a second. Here's more of that calendar type. Here we go. Okay, so like this kind is a little better at maybe patterns. It looks like this person put a box around, maybe those were the weekends, so they could see kind of what their habits were like each day throughout the week, maybe what habits they tended to do on the same day as other habits. But obviously this is going to end up taking up a whole page and being a little more cluttered. Here are some other examples of this. Just across the page, that's a little less cluttered. I guess it also depends on how many habits you'd like to track. So I'm just going to make mini versions of these. And so I want to do like a mini version of something similar, not exactly this. I remember at one point, it would have been in an old journal, I did basically that idea, but it was like one part of the bottom part. Let me think. It was kind of like if you turn the journal this way, this page up here was actually a line graph, and this page down here was the chart, and the days correlated across, so it was like you could see your habits, and then I think I tracked like my mood, my sleep. I think there was something else because I remember having 3 lines. I might do that again someday because that one actually was really helpful for patterns, but not for August. There's nothing I'm too worried about at the moment that I'm trying to, figure out what's going on. So I'm just going to use my ruler. Now, this ruler is the one that it folds and is actually a protractor as well. I'm just going to use it for my lines. And again, I'm just going to do a small version to see maybe what would work. It's not going to work to go this way unless I went the whole way across the page. Just because there's not 31 dots that go that way. Plus you need space to like write what the habit is. So I'm gonna do it, let's see, for my calendars. So I can probably leave about 7 blank rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can probably start here. And like I said, I'm not going to do the whole page, so I'll probably just go to like halfway. Just to get a feeling, this kind of splitting this half. And I think I would need to go the whole way down. If I'm remembering correctly. Oops. I let my roller go a little bit there. Let's go this way. Actually, I went to there. Okay. And then here. And now this also, you wouldn't have to close all the sides in. But for the sake of trying them out, I kind of want to, I guess, section them off for each other. And I actually liked what they did in that video. So I'm actually going to use the protractor part, I think, and just do a slightly slanted line compared to a straight line. That way it has a little bit more of an angle. Okay, so if you have a ruler that can do this, or if you have a way to make it consistent, or you're good at freehanding it, I'm just lining up the bottom part of the ruler straight with the dots, and then I'm just going to start where the dot starts. I'm going to go up, and I'll just move over to the next one. Like I said, some people might be good at just freehanding this, but I would not be. They'd be a little crooked, and I think that would make it look a little more cluttered to me, in my do your numbers. So I'll just do 10. And now put the examples of like, let's see, what's a common? Let's put 8 hours of sleep. Again, this is just rough. We'll put like work out. And we'll put drink enough water for me. So that would be kind of the idea. And then you would just be crossing off the days that you do things. You know, say in this hypothetical world, I just drink enough water all the time. So honestly, that would not look too bad. Part of the reason when I say if it looks good on this journal, it will look good in my bullet journal, is that journals can have different dot grid spacings. So using a 0.5 pen with this particular dot grid, I don't think would be too messy. For me, I think it would start to get messy if I also did like the vertical lines and then horizontal lines. So if I started to make every habit have its own box every day, I think I don't like that as much as the free grid that the dot grid gives you. And the dots in this journal are dark enough, I think, that it gives good contrast. So that's an option. I might not in reality use the slanted lines, but I've never done that before, so that's interesting. Okay, now I want to set up a couple of this type where you have a calendar per habit. In this one, it looks like they do it as the actual calendar for that month. This one looks like it is similar. This one's cute. So let me try drawing a couple of these. I'm just going to do it here beside. Actually, I'm going to try both ways. I'm going to try one as the calendar and one as just where it looks like a calendar. So we're going to just start writing numbers, I suppose. August would have 31, so that's what those would look like. I think I made these really big. Okay, well, I was going to test it 2 ways anyway. So I'm going to skip down and do it one more time with a little bit smaller numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, Oh yeah, I definitely like the smaller calendar better with the smaller numbers. And so when I said I was going to do a couple types anyway, I was going to try this one where it has, let's just stick with, let's make a new one. Let's put journal. We're just going to label this as journal. And then these, the one design has a box that spans the width of the calendar. So you can do that. And if you wanted, you could like add either with your pen or with a highlighter a shadow underneath, and then it would be to the right as well. So you could do that, or you could just leave it as a box. The other way that I saw, it has like a box around it. So let's keep the word journal, and this would be more like here. Well, you know, more centered. But then the idea is kind of like a rounded rectangle. You know, if that was centered, I think I'd really like that. And then you can just go in and either, you could do like, you know, I did it on the first, and I journal on the third, or you could do circles. So you could circle the days that you did it. This is where I prefer my dot marker. I think that it makes it a little more uniform. I'm just grabbing a dot marker. So instead of doing the circles, you would do just dots on the days that you did it. And let's say you skip journaling for a while. And so that's what I like to use the dot markers for anyway. That and tasks. So I put that back in its case. I'll have to show you that case sometime. Okay, and then the one other calendar way is to do it similar to this, except you'd be starting it how the month falls. So August starts on a Thursday, and I don't even think I'd put the days of the week. I think I would just go ahead and do the numbers. So let's just say Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh gosh, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 11, 12. I wasn't focused and I made some of these numbers a little big. And so for August this year, that's what that would look like. So let's say I want to, let's say read. Okay, and I want the same idea. for the lines, I'm just kind of going just to the outside of the dots. I think that's really cute. I prefer this, I think, to this, but I think that's just honestly personal preference. I think either could work fine. But the one downside to this kind is, I think you probably have picked up on it, you'd have to write the calendar for however many things you want to track. So whereas this, you could write, this was just half the page, but you could have, 20 things on the same page in theory that you're tracking down through the month. To do that, you'd have to make 20 little calendars. So I think that'd be a lot of setup, but I guess if you're really committed to your habits, then maybe you would. And then something I thought about for this one as I was looking at my dot markers is if you did a little one, like say you only did one that was half the page, I think this would be just fine. I think it would be easy enough to keep track of. But if you did one that extended the whole width of the page, your habits over here might be difficult to track them. In the middle of the month, making sure you're on the right row. You could use a light colored highlighter or marker and do alternating days. That could be an option as well. And then I want to do just a couple more just to see if I would like them. So there's this idea, and I think my first thought, of course, was about my dot markers. But basically you make a light strand, and each light corresponds to a day of the month, and you color it in. That, I think I don't know. I think I would this is not practical, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If I don't track my habits until right before bed, I can use my one pen that I keep on my journal and draw my X's, or I do keep one dot marker with me and dot the days, dot the day that I did the habit. With something like this, where everything is a different, part of the thing is how cute it is, right? This wouldn't be appealing if it wasn't cute. I don't know if I would actually sit down and commit to getting out all my colors each day just to track my habits. So I wanted to look at something like these. Oops, goodness gracious. Some of these are like the calendar, instead of it being numbers, it's more just circles in a grid, and that's what that is. That's really cute. That habit is basically one of these, but like a Polaroid, which honestly, that's a really cute idea. Then you have a traditional habit bar. So to do the bars, you would literally just draw out your line on the top. I'm doing this really quick. And the bottom. And you connect them over here. Connect them over here. And then obviously you pay a little more attention than I am. And then you count 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And So you could do this the other way and just give it its own bar, but at that point, it's basically this anyway. And then you divide it in half. So then you have something like that. And then you're just doing that the whole way across. And I can, well, as I say, I can freehand this fine enough, and then I made it really squiggly. So maybe I can't. But you get the idea. Basically, this is like a progress bar compared to like a correlation thing. So this could be like, you know, no spend. And, you know, you could do it as like your no spend challenge, or, you know, people will do like workout challenges or like cleaning challenges, and basically you just fill in the bar as you go until the month is over. In this case, you wouldn't need that square, so it would be 31 days. But then you can see your progress as you go. And I know some people will do this where if they miss a day, instead of skipping one, they'll still color it in. But that one there will be an empty one at the end. So they can kind of see like what percentage at a glance they did. But there was one on here. That one, the little plant. That one is so cute to me. And I'm gonna try and draw that real quick. So they have the edge of their planter. It's just a rectangle. I don't need that. And this comes down and connects. And what could we put? We could put, oh, is that bad? I'm running out of habits. Let's see. We could just put like walk. Okay. And then they just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 stems, all just varying lengths. They actually just kind of alternate. Like that. Hers actually, they go a little taller, so let's pretend like I made them taller in the first place. And then there are little leaves on each one, and what it looks like is that as you do them, they're colored in. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then we're just going to stick the extra one down here. And so then you have 31 little leaves, and you could color in each leaf as you go. That way it's like cute. Obviously, if you took a little more time, it could be neater, then you'd have a cute little plant pot tracker. And then along the same line, there are some that people do as vines. And this will probably be the last one I do, since this has been a long video just about trackers. But I have seen, not on this board, but basically you have like the ground. Bear with me, we're gonna make it. And then you have a couple vines. And let's just pretend. So they have vines. That are just kind of squiggly. I feel like I'm making mine a little too curvy. Let's try a little bit more sweeping. And let's try one more. So basically you have a vine. I've seen some people make them like flowers. Just like a typical doodle flower. I've seen that. I've seen like sunflower type flowers. I've seen, tulip type flowers. I've seen roses. I haven't drawn a rose in a really long time. I only know the doodle versions anyway. But I know it's something like that. And you just keep, close enough. And I've just seen some people do the, like the greenery. So, but the idea is, again, like these, that you have leaves, but this time they'd be like just pairs up, so you'd have like this kind of thing, basically 15 pairs up the vine. And then if it's a 31-day month, you just have like one extra. Or if it's a 31-day month, that would be a good month to just do it as like a greenery vine as well. And then you could just make the top one, one single bud instead of two. And again, if you take more time, these can look really cute and not as rough. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I just need one more, and that would be 30. And then same concept, you just fill it in. You could do the same thing with the flowers, and you could just alternate them as actual like leaves instead of like the little buds together. And so you do like 30, so 15 on one side, 15 on the other, and then you would just fill them in as you go. My rose looks a little sad. I don't think there's any use in trying to fix it, but these are the habit trackers. Just some ideas that I thought were cute. I think this one's gonna be what I do for August. If not this, it's going to be probably this, just because these are really easy and they're also, just one page, and this one wouldn't involve writing the numbers over and over. So those are the two I'm debating between. These ones I'd like to make a pretty version of my journal of someday, but probably not for August. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing these different habit trackers, and I hope that you had a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!